Oh, yeah. About that time. That 7:10 report. Time to wake up. 7:10. Talking about cannabis and psychedelics. In the AM. You can see behind me. I'm like actually at a grow. Or is it just one of those funky backgrounds that we're able to use these days? Funky backgrounds. Everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday. This is Tuesday. Hope you guys enjoyed our episode yesterday, a flashback episode of 710 Morning Show. I like these flashback episodes. I'm looking how I used to look back then. I especially love looking at Nurse Colleen. I love watching those old episodes. So hope you guys enjoyed as well. We're going to do a quick rundown of the top headlines of the day or of the week when it comes to marijuana and psychedelics. And we're going to jump off with Pennsylvania because we're going to be heading to Pennsylvania at the end of this week. This week? Next week. Next week. Yeah, next week. I'm getting ahead of myself. On number 45, my birthday, number 45, we're going to be headed up to Pennsylvania and for that Pennsylvania Cannabis Festival. And a Republican Pennsylvania senator on Friday announced that he'll soon be introducing a bill to allow medical marijuana patients in the state to buy cannabis edibles at dispensaries. Senator Dan Laughlin is circulating a co-sponsorship memo to build support for his proposal, which he says will bring Pennsylvania in line with the majority of states that have legalized medical marijuana by allowing access to the products and instituting restrictions on packaging and labeling. Senator says Pennsylvania's patients should be able to buy edible medical cannabis that is safe, uniform, and securely packaged and labeled, just as they do in 25 other states that have legalized medical cannabis. So apparently in Pennsylvania, edibles are not legal yet. And this is one of those issues that we've talked about here in Florida. They didn't allow edibles when they first passed medical marijuana in Florida either. And that was really interesting because they didn't allow smokable marijuana either in Florida. And if you ask anybody prior to the introduction of medical marijuana, how do you consume marijuana? They'd be like, well, you can smoke it or you can eat a brownie. And, that's the majority of what people voted for was these marijuana forms that they're, used to. But, the legislature decided, well, if that's what they're used to, then we'll do something different and we'll make them, use high potency concentrates instead. See how things backlash when you try to regulate too much? I don't think we've ever learned that lesson. You think alcohol prohibition would have taught us that. How difficult is it to get a constitutional amendment at the federal level? Yet there was enough support for alcohol prohibition to make that happen, and then enough support to repeal it to make it happen again, to get rid of it. 2 constitutional amendments, federal constitutional amendments that cancel each other out. It's unbelievable. And any time they try and prohibit things or restrict things, it always has this backlash effect. I keep bringing up those parental advisory stickers because it was such a big deal when I was really into music and they wanted to put parental advisory stickers on CDs and tapes. No, bad lyrics in here. Watch out for the children. And those sold like hotcakes because the kids wanted the stuff that they couldn't have. And I think that translates, across the board. So, they should have had edibles to begin with. I don't know why they didn't. Probably the same political drama that we have here in Florida, but it's a good thing if they're able to get those, edibles passed because there's a lot of patients that don't like to smoke. My lungs start to get a little bit tired, and I think that I need the edibles. Edibles also help people sleep throughout the night. They're digested differently. They last longer. There's so many benefits to them, to the 11-hydroxy THC that it's converted to in the liver, that it's absolutely a political move to not have them be legal. So that's good news. And maybe they'll be legal soon. Let's jump over to psychedelics real quick. How about that? Psychedelics in Maryland. So there's a Maryland bill to fund psychedelics research and access for veterans, and it's on the desk of the governor. So Maryland lawmakers sent a bill to the governor on Friday that would create a state fund to provide cost-free access to psychedelics like psilocybin, MDMA, and ketamine for military veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury. We actually spoke with one of our friends yesterday on the phone at length, who suffers from both of those, traumatic brain injury, and PTSD, who was at Cannadelic, and what this can do for veterans. The reason you're seeing, you know, crossing the aisle when it comes to psychedelics and veterans is it's nothing short of miraculous what they can do to help someone who has a lot of trauma, and they have to be done in the right way. It's not just take this and you'll feel better, which I think we've been kind of conditioned in this country and just kind of Western medicine to think that, you take this pill and this is going to get you better. We don't have a very holistic approach to medicine, that, your thoughts, emotions, your, physicality, the things that you do, what you eat, all of that stuff plays a role in your health. So psychedelics actually help. They're not, a solution to everything, but they are a pivotal tool. If you could imagine trying to drill down to your core traumas and the things that affect you mostly, when you're trying to drill down on that, think of going to therapy as like using one of those hand drills, those old school hand drills like this, right? Yeah. But, with psychedelics, it's like having a power drill on high, like you can really get in there really quickly. But you still need drill operator. You still need, to know what you're doing. So the bill in Maryland unanimously passed the Senate 46-0 last month, and then it cleared the House unanimously 135-0. All of this support is for veterans who are suffering. So the psychedelics bill, meanwhile, would establish what's being called the Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and Traumatic Brain Injury Alternative Therapies Fund. And it stipulates that money from that fund must be used to study the use of alternative therapies for veterans with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries. It's great that it's also in Maryland, because that is, to me, that's the proximity to the capital, to Washington, D.C., and it helps move the national narrative as well. A lot of lawmakers live in Maryland and Virginia, so this is why I like to keep a close eye on those states. So hopefully we'll see that push through. The governor will sign that. 2 unanimous votes. I doubt the governor is going to argue with 2 unanimous votes, so that'll probably happen. And then Oklahoma, that's right, Oklahoma senators have approved the psilocybin research bill, but delete decriminalization provision passed by the House. So Oklahoma Senate Committee on Monday unanimously approved a House-passed bill. This means this bill already passed the House, to allow for the cultivation and administration of psilocybin by eligible institutions for research purposes. That's very similar to what we have here in Florida, where we have the Siegel trials, and there might be even some more clinical trials of people that they're actually doing clinical trials on psilocybin. And this is what they're trying to allow to happen in Oklahoma. But the version that the senators advanced, right? So it's got to go through the House, it's got to go through the Senate, and it's got to go to the governor. So House passed it. Senate said we're going to make some changes. The version that the senators advanced omits a broader decriminalization provision that had been included. So the Senate Health and Human Services Committee advanced the amended legislation from Representative Daniel Pay in a 9-0 vote. Daniel Pay is a Republican. This bill is a committee substitute of an earlier version that originally contained the provision to decriminalize psilocybin for unauthorized use by making it punishable by a fine without the threat of jail time. That more closely aligns the bill which passed the House last month with a similarly dialed back measure from Representative Logan Phillips. It was also filed in January. So, to recap here, they've taken the decriminalization measure out of this bill. So, to me, that seems like they thought there was trying to be snuck in, and they took this out, saying, "Well, we don't want we want criminal penalties for breaking the law here, and there is no decriminalization in this bill anymore." But good news is that they are looking to research psilocybin in Oklahoma. It's pretty damn cool if you ask me. Let's get back to marijuana real quick. All right. Let's see. Oh, here's one of my favorite stories from a few days ago. A new study suggests that feeding cows hemp helps them chill out. This is what our federal government is funding. New study, pardon me, suggests feeding cattle industrial hemp at a horticultural cousin of marijuana reduces their stress levels and makes them lie down more. Actually, reducing stress levels makes them tastier. That is no joke. That's why they have that, like, was that Kobe beef, where they like have like really pampered Japanese cows with no stress, and they like sneak up and murder them, so they're not stressed out before they get murdered. Yeah. Anyway, where's my burgers? I need burgers today, or steak. This could prove beneficial to ranchers because relaxed steers tend to be healthier. So we'll have more steers. Researchers at Kansas State University said hemp could be the natural way to decrease stress-related respiratory infections and other ailments when cattle are being transported or weaned off their mothers. I'm going to chill out some cows with hemp. I'm wondering what the meat tastes like. I'm wondering if there's higher levels of omega-3s in the meat because they're eating hemp. I'm wondering about the milk too. What does that do to the milk? Do you get like weed milk? Like, how does that work? Hemp milk? Is there CBD milk in there? Because like the chocolate milk comes from the chocolate cows that live near a chocolate stream, in a chocolate field, in a chocolate town, near a chocolate stream. That's right. Commercials from the 80s remain in my head. It was a Hershey's chocolate milk commercial. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. So today's episode here, I'm actually not in a grow right now, but this is the Fluent Grow up in Tampa, I believe. And it's a little bit of an older picture, but you can see kind of the state-of-the-artness and the care at which they take their plants here. We're going to head up to do a tour of both the Tampa facility and their Sweetwater facility. That's right, Sweetwater facility, because quite frankly, they're coming out with some great flower, and the guys over at Freedom Town who are helping them with some of these craft strains, and I mean, it really is amazing. It's some of the most flavorful cannabis on the market. As you may not have heard, I have been, and Nurse Colleen and I have been cutting back on the THC, the amount of THC that we consume. And I hate to be preachy, but I suggest it for people. I suggest people cut back on THC and see how it helps you, or see how it affects you. Not just, what's this? Okay, then. So, not just, what the hell was I saying now? The strains of the lower THC. The lower THC is better when you're, I don't know. I think you can get used to high THC and just think that you need it all the time. And until you get yourself out of the psychological space that you don't need it all the time, it's hard to kind of imagine what I mean by cutting back on the THC, because I know if I was listening to me, I would be like, what? No, I'm not going to do that. So, try it, and look for strains that are more flavorful that you enjoy. And I think that you will have a better experience But if you don't, that's fine. You can just go back to higher THC. That's the lovely, wonderful aspect of all of this. So, Fluent has some really great strains that are like really craft kind of strains. Like you look at them, they look really beautiful. They're like hand trimmed, and the flavor profiles are awesome, and they're around the 20%, a little less than 20% THC mark. Some of them are coming in a little higher now. But it's really kind of the sweet spot of where I want to be these days, is around that 17% mark. Nice terpene profiles, and maybe mix it with a little bit of hemp, and that is some good stuff right there. And so definitely check out Fluent if you can. And speaking of Pennsylvania, they're also going to be up in Pennsylvania, and you should definitely check them out. They're one of the best, like kind of like turnarounds of the flower and the products. And not for nothing, the vapes last a really, really long time. I'm not a big vapor, but Nurse Colleen picked up a vape the other day, and she's been puffing on it and puffing on it, and it doesn't seem like it goes down at all. So I know that, we've kind of, the Fluent vapes were a little bit costlier than vapes other places. And now I see why. They last like 3 times as long. I don't know how. I don't know like the science behind it, but they are definitely lasting longer than a lot of other vapes. So I would definitely, check that out, and check out these FTH Freedom Town Holding strains. And that Rose Especial they came out with is just like, wow, really fantastic. So you saw Nurse Colleen come in. Well, you didn't see her, but you heard her come in and give me some stuff over here. We got a package in the mail yesterday, and hopefully I can show this to you, and the background doesn't like get them out. We got a package in the mail. We didn't know what it was, but when we opened it, it was all this stuff from Ganja Beach. Look, see, like I knew this was gonna happen. Ganja Beach, right? But check this out. It's a cannabis coloring book. Ganja Beach are our media friends. I know. I can't make it. I know you can't see it, and it's green, so it's probably chroma keying it out. You can see that there. It's the zodiac signs, cannabis coloring book with the zodiac signs. So you can see. So funny. Cannot show products. There we go. Who's that? Oh, look. Of course, I turned to the page with the boobies over here. So you can see on the back, you got all the different signs. What's your sign? Then even comes with little Ganja Beach crayons. So pretty cool. Go check out Ganja Beach. They've got a podcast. They've got lots of cool stuff going on. They also have hot sauces. Is that on the back of here? Yeah, look at this. Check it out. Ganja Beach hot sauces. Hot sauces. Are they infused? I don't know. Does it matter? Not really. Because they're just hot sauce is good. They got pineapple hot sauce. Big fan of pineapple hot sauce. Hemp hot sauce. What? Hemp hot sauce. HHS, they call that. That's the new thing. HHS, hemp hot sauce. So check that out at Ganja Beach Media. And they got games too. Ganja Beach Games. So cool people over there. We like to support them. They support us. And don't forget, we got Cannadelic coming up. New Cannadelic event coming up at FIU. Going to be out of control. We've already got lots of speaker applications coming in. Lots of vendor applications. It's getting pretty crazy. We're also going to be heading up to Pennsylvania. Well, first of all, let's see what we got going on. The end of this week, we're headed up to Ryan Morales' fundraiser. Ryan Morales for Commissioner of Agriculture. I keep saying Secretary. Commissioner of Agriculture, Ryan Morales. You're going to want to come up for that if you can. That's on the 15th, and that is a fundraiser. He is the only Democrat running and the only pro-cannabis, pro-psychedelic candidate for Florida Commissioner of Agriculture. And if you don't know, the agricultural department will be in charge of recreational marijuana when it does pass. So we're doing that up on Friday, and then on Saturday we're heading over to Florida Groves Fest to see the Marleys and Digi Dave and Cody and our friends with Dab Days, and then we're coming back here, and we're going to be going to the Bud Bash over here at Lalo's in Fort Lauderdale, which we're super excited about. That's on 420, which is also my birthday. Then we're flying out that night, going up to Pennsylvania for the Pennsylvania Cannabis Festival. I'm so excited about that. I like getting to the cold weather a little bit and help me appreciate the warm weather a little more. And then we're headed back here. And that's as far as my brain can handle the calendar. You add more to that and I can't deal with it. So that's where we are. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to bring us out now, but I hope you guys enjoy the day and have a, what is it, Tuesday again? Tuesday. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday and check out some of the fun stuff. Stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming your way. On the 710 report. Shout out everybody.